Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my NFL Week 6 NFL predictions. Before we get started, I'm going to give you my pick'em picks for the week on my pick'em. But before we do that, last week's record for week number 5, my pick'em, I went 7-7, and for my YT, I had a horrible week, 6-8. So those my new records for my pick'em is now 44-34, and for my YT is now 45-33 on the year. So yeah, kind of shaky there, but I'm gonna give you my pick'em picks for this week. I think this is gonna be a good week. I hope. I got San Francisco, Jacksonville, Arizona, Indianapolis, New England, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Denver, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Carolina, Cincinnati, Buffalo. Got it? All right. So we're going to begin with the Thursday night football game between the 49ers and Seahawks. Going into this game, San Francisco is a must-win game here. They just lost to the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what's going on with the 49ers right now. I know they don't have some pieces currently. They got shut out in the second half, which was really not good at all for the San Francisco 49ers. The Cardinals, though, they played dominant in the second half and locked up San Fran. And now because of that loss, San Fran's sitting at 2-3 on the season. I mean, from what I know, they have a little bit of injuries, but I'm confused with this team. I'm really confused. They should have won two of those games that they had lost. So they should have beaten the Rams and the Cardinals, but man, that just uh-oh. Meanwhile, you got the Seahawks. They're looking like more like frauds by the minute because they got smoked by the what was I gonna? They got smoked by the Lions, which I thought it'd be a shootout. I mean, I expected their defense to crumble in that one. It was gonna be a shootout, but the problem with the Seahawks here, now they lost to the Giants, which was a horrible loss, by the way, 29-20, with no Malik Neighbors and Devin Singletary, by the way. The Seahawks defense is currently struggling at the moment. Their first three opponents were like really easy: the Denver Broncos, the New England Patriots, and the Miami Dolphins without Tua Tagovailoa. And going into this game, I don't see the Seahawks doing anything. It's the Niners are gonna get their win, a much needed win on the road to defeat Seattle. San Fran will go to 3-3. Seattle will drop to 3-3. They'll win 30-17. Niners go to 3-3. Seahawks drop to 3-3. And our second team crumpets game, the London game, is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Chicago Bears. So in this one, I have on my pick, I'm gonna have the Jaguars because they've been a really good team playing in London. They've been winning games in London. I would not be shocked if they won. But in this one, I'm going with the Bears here on my YT. It could go either way. But in this one, I think the Bears won on the road by 8 points. I think they won 25-17. The Bears offense has been more looking comfortable by the week and getting the chemistry as we got smoked by them, by the way, last week. The Bears are getting their stuff together. They're finally figuring things out. Caleb Williams just had a massive day against the Panthers. Worst defense in the league, but you know what? It's what I expected, honestly. But I thought it'd be a close fight, but no, we got smoked. But the Bears, they're getting their stuff together. Caleb Williams is looking better and better. And I think he goes into London on my YT1, and I think they get a win heading to their bye at sitting at 4-2, and Jacksonville continues to struggle. And I think we could see another head coaching firing, by the way, of Doug Peterson really soon. But before we go to the next game, I do want to say Robert Saleh did get fired. It kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, their quarterback problem hasn't been solved, and Woody Johnson, I guess, has seen enough. That doesn't really make any sense at all. His defense is doing its job like normal. He built the defense, but the problem is he couldn't solve the quarterback problem. And Aaron Rodgers, man, I don't know. The Jets' offense has been dookie. Absolutely terrible. But that's all I needed to say about Robert Saleh. I don't think he deserved to get fired that week. It was too early. I thought he would probably gotten fired, but not that early, and not the first one either. But now going into the Sunday slate of games, the afternoon ones. First game it's between the Green Bay Packers and the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are a really good team right now. I think they're getting things together. I think they're still alive for playoff contention, even though they're sitting at 2-3 at the moment. Even though if they lose this game, I think they still have a chance to become an underdog this season. And then you got the Green Bay Packers coming off a road win against the Rams. I think this is going to be a close game between these two teams, back and forth. But I think the Packers are going to get it done here at home. I will not be shocked if Arizona would win this game. They've looked really sharp against San Fran, and they can be a really good team going into the second half of the football season. It's really crazy. We're already in week 6 of the season. But in this one, I got Green Bay here on my YT, 27-20. This is gonna be a back and forth game between these two teams, and we are expected in for a fight, and we're in for a treat in this one. But the Packers hold on, win at their turf, 27-20, and an interesting day. Now we got the Colts and the Titans. Titans are coming off their bye. The Colts are coming off a shootout loss between Jacksonville. I'm unsure who's starting at quarterback for the Colts, but I think the Colts would win regardless, barely, if they have Anthony Richardson, or if they would have Joe Flacco. I think they would smoke them. I'm telling you, man, Joe Flacco's good, but the problem is this could be a breakout game for Will Levis here to regain his confidence, because the Colts have the absolutely worst secondary in the league by far, and we saw that. And this is going to be an absolute mid-off between Anthony Richardson or Will Levis if they're both playing. I am currently unsure who's starting this week. I don't know. But for Will Levis, he's been struggling the first 4 games of the season. But it looks like, I don't know at the moment. I don't know if Richardson's playing. He seems active. I think it's looking like he was a full participant, so that might mean he's probably going to start on Sunday against the Titans. So I'm expecting a mid-off here, low-key, between these two teams. But the problem is the Colts could be a good team if Anthony Richardson knows what he's doing. And I know he still needs time to develop. Meanwhile, you have Will Levis on the other side, who is making the brainless decisions like we saw it, and then he injured himself. But he's expected to be fine and playing against the Colts. But I can see this as a breakout game for Will Levis here because the Colts secondary absolutely sucks, and we can see why. But I have the Colts here winning 23-19. And by the way, for the Colts, real quick, let me check their leading receiver by the opponent team. If I can check real quick on ESPN, I'm wasting a lot of time. So let's say the Texans. Nico Collins had 117 yards week 1, the leading receiver. Packers, they had Romeo Doubs for 3 for 62. Their passing game was limited because of Malik Willis that game. Against the Bears, they had over 363 passing yards by Caleb Williams. Adunze had 112. Cole Kmet had 97. DJ Moore 78. So you know why the Colts secondary got smoked that game, but they limited the run that game. And then for the Steelers, the running game was limited, obviously. We know that. 122 yards. But the problem is they limited Najee Harris that game. But then you had George Pickens going for 7 for 113, 312 receiving yards for the Steelers. And then for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Brian Thomas had 5 for 122. So I would not be shocked if and Kirk went for 4 for 88. So we will not be shocked if the Titans had a field day on offense but still lose. I don't know, but I have the Colts winning here 23-19, and the Colts barely squeak out, and their defense is leaky. Next up, Houston versus New England. Drake May gets the start. I might now be changing. I might be regretting doing this, but I'm going with the Patriots here. The reason why I'm doing this is because the Texans have never won in Foxborough. The Patriots have been owning the Texans in history. I mean, they've in the last 2 games, back in 2019 and 2020, they've lost at Houston. But the last time that they played in New England, New England got the win off that, and New England has never lost to the Texans at Foxborough. But they have Drake May at the quarterback spot, so I don't know if he's gonna do well or not. And going against like a really angry defensive line and no help for Drake May. But I'm going with the Patriots here to upset the Houston Texans. This is a really risky pick. I would not be shocked if the Patriots were to lose, though. But we could see Drake May actually shining in his rookie debut. I got the Patriots winning 24-16. Probably one of the dumbest picks that I will make this week. Next, we have Tampa Bay and New Orleans. So I'm going with the Bucs here. This might actually not be my lock of the week, because they have no Derek Carr, and they're starting Spencer Rattler, I believe, and he's a rookie. I don't know what to expect. Or I was going to say the lock of the week would be the Eagles, but I don't know. I think this... But now my lock of the week is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers upsetting the Saints. But because of their rookie quarterback. The Bucs have been one of the better teams in the league, and they've been hot. Meanwhile, you get the Saints. They've been really bad mid since like after the 2 games, first week of the season, and I don't know what to say about the Saints right now. Anyway, and that week they gotta figure this out. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Tampa Bay wins 27-20. Browns Eagles. I'm not gonna talk much about this game because I think this is gonna be a butt kicking for the Browns. Eagles win, or they get smoked by the Eagles, 28-12. I think Barkley has a field day, and yeah, I think Hurts might be limited a bit, but I think Barkley's gonna run all over them, low key, because he's probably the best player on the field. And I don't know if AJ Brown's playing. We don't know, but I think the Eagles go out there and just bounce back, go to 3-2. And now the next game we have is probably the game of the week. Washington and the Baltimore Ravens here. For one, this is going to be Washington's test against Baltimore, one of the top teams in the league. When they faced Tampa Bay, they got smoked. Sorry for the ad. If I can close it. I can't close it, so just ignore it, please. So they beat the Giants, smoked the shootout between the Bengals, blown out the Cardinals, and beat the Browns. So they have the Baltimore Ravens, which is their main test, and then they have another easy game between us and the Bears, and then the Giants. Then they get the Cowboys and the Eagles, week 11 and 12, and then yeah, the Commanders have one of the easiest schedules in the league, low key. But this is an interesting one. Here, this is going to prove where the Commanders are going to go, and we'll see who they truly are. But I think the Commanders are going to be in a fighting game. I think it's going to be close, but the Ravens are going to pull through and expose their defense. Commanders win the Ravens win 31-26, not the Commanders. I think it's going to be a good day for the offense, and the Ravens are going to just wipe them out the water. I don't know what to say about the Commanders, but I'd be shocked if they do beat Baltimore. Denver and the Chargers is next. For this one, I'm going with Denver here. That's gonna be some probably boring game, but I have it being 24-17. Simple. I think Denver is one of the weird teams, but they're not gonna be good at some point. But they just been hot. They beat Tampa Bay. They beat the Jets. Now they can beat the Raiders. And I think they can beat the Chargers. They're one of the hottest teams in the league, and somehow they can probably be ending up no Derek Carr in this game, and they could still end up winning this one, and they can somehow be ending up 6-2 after week 8, and then they're gonna get exposed to the Ravens and Chiefs, lose to the Falcons, lose to the Raiders, and then their season's over just like that, and they're gonna have a mid-season collapse. Just ignore that though. You never know, but yeah, I could see Denver winning this one here. But we'll have to wait and see and find out what happens. But I think it'll be an interesting game. No, not really. I don't care. Broncos win 24-14 or 24-17. Excuse me. And now we have the Steelers and Raiders. This is actually going to be a 24-14 score. But Steelers win on the road 24-14. They're starting Aiden O'Connell. No Devontae Adams either, so they're going to have to force feed the ball to Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. I don't think the running game is going to do anything. I think the Steelers are going to limit that, and O'Connell's probably going to have to throw the ball like 40-plus times. He'll probably throw 2 interceptions and no touchdowns, honestly. And then the Raiders are just going to be one of the worst teams in the league right now. No Gardner Minshew. He got benched for Aiden O'Connell, and I still think Minshew's better than O'Connell. I don't know how to say about Aiden O'Connell at all, but I guess that's what they're going with. No Max Crosby. I think Crosby might play. I don't know, but Christian Wilkins IR next 4 games out. Raiders have no defense, and I think the Steelers are going to win on the road, bounce back from the Dallas loss, move on. Next up, Lions-Cowboys. This is going to be another good game here. But this is going to be the Lions winning this time and getting their first win against the Cowboys since 2013. By winning 31-28, shootout game. The Lions do it on the road. They do bounce back from that last game against Dallas back in the end of the season of 2023 and get the revenge from that, And the Lions are going to have a great win on the road. They're rested, and they're going to get a big win, 31-28. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons in Carolina, obviously. And that's the game that I'm probably going to be watching because my team's playing. Yay! I wish we could have played at 10 a.m. so I can watch the Lions and Cowboys. But it is what it is. But in this one, I low-key see us winning the Falcons. We at least win one game against the Falcons each year. We've done that since 2022. I know we got swept in 2021, but I think we do beat them this year again. And by the way, 2-0 all time in our black unis with a new helmet. We have been 2-0. We won against the Falcons that Thursday Night Football game, and we are wearing those again, those black helmets, in week 6. And also, by the way, we won against them in week 15 in an ugly game, and I could see us winning. We're 3-0, or we're 2-0 all time, and let's make it 3-0 all time. We win 23-20. Go Panthers, keep pounding. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. I think the Bengals bounce back from this, keeping their season somewhat alive, but their defense has got to get to work and get their stuff together if they're going to make any shot in the playoffs. They're 1-4 right now, and I think they do go to 2-4, and their defense does its job to limit them to 16 points. But they need to continue limiting the points and eliminating yards allowed, because then they're going to get the Browns. That's an easy opponent, and then you're going to have to face the Eagles. You got an easy stretch between the Giants, Browns, Raiders, Eagles, and then you get the Ravens and Chargers before your bye. Do not mess this up, Bengals. Do not mess this up. Do your job. Limit the yards allowed, and then you'll be fine. You need to win basically most of these games. You can lose one of them, I think. If you lose like one, let's say to the Ravens again, you'll be 6-5 going into the bye. Or if you do win all of them, you'll be sitting at 7-4. We don't know what's going to happen, but Bengals need to wake up. They're gonna be. I think they'll win though, 30-16. And now the final game of the week: Bills Jets Monday Night Football. I might be changing my pick to the Bills, low key. Nah, I'm kidding. Too late for that. We're going with the Jets, 23-17. And yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's game picks video. If you did, leave a like down below and subscribe. And I'm gonna get this rolled on YouTube. And I will see you guys next week. And maybe keep on the lookout for future streams coming up. Bye.